Welcome. In this video, we're going to perform vector operations in 3 dimensions. We're going to express each solution in 2 different manners, and we're going to sketch a result in 3 dimensions. So here you're given 2 vectors, v and u. So let's begin with this one here. 1/2 v, that's equal to 1/2 times the vector -2, 0, 4. So this is -2/2, comma 0/2, comma 4/2. So this is -1, 0, 2. Now, those of you in my class, as this is really just arithmetic, I don't need to see this step here. Next, 2u, 2 times the vector 0, 1, 1. So this is 0, 2, 2. And this here would be sufficient for credit on one of my quizzes or exams, anything that you have to handwrite in my class. Now I'm going to rearrange actually, and let's finish this one here. 2u minus 1/2 v. Well, if you notice, here's 2u and here's 1/2 v. So I can write 2u minus 1/2 v is equal to, well, 2u is 0, 2, comma 2, minus 1/2 v, that's here, is -1, 0, 2. So this is 0 minus 1. Oh, excuse me. 0 plus 1, comma 2 minus 0, and 2 minus 2. So I end up with 1, 2, 0. So here we've expressed each of these one way. Let's go ahead and express these each a second way. This is -I plus 2k. So this is 2 ways to express. What I mean is I'm expressing each solution in 2 different manners here. And let's do the same thing. This would be 2j plus 2k. So again, I've expressed the solution in 2 different manners. And then finally, this one can be expressed as I plus 2j. Okay, so with that, let's move on to GeoGebra. All right, as you can see, I went ahead and loaded up GeoGebra in a web browser. Now I'm going to click on the 3x3 grid and select Classic, and then go to 3D Graphics. And of course, I'm going to adjust this to have our standard view that we use in class, which is the x-axis pointing to the bottom left, the y-axis pointing to the bottom right, and the z-axis pointing directly up. And then again, as usual, I'm going to omit the plane. So let's begin with our vectors v and u. And as we remember, vector v is equal to, actually, really fast, before we do that, let's name this a point here, O. I'm going to name that point O, and it's going to be just the origin. And you'll see why I do this. Now, the vector v is equal to, and in GeoGebra, you can do this just by typing. You don't have to use the tools up here. So I typed in vector, and then you don't actually have to select this, but for this first one, I will select it. Vector start point, end point. My start point is the letter O, then comma, then my end point. I'm going to open a parentheses, type in -2, 0, 4, and return. And there is vector v. Let's do the same for u. So vector u, I type in vector, open parentheses, O, comma, open parentheses, 0, comma, 1, comma, 1. So now that I have my 2 vectors, v and u, let's go ahead and do 1/2 v. So I can just type in 1/2 and then a little v, and there we are. It is a little difficult to see, so let's change vector v a bit. So notice I just tapped on vector v, and I'm going to make it dashed. Here we are. And I'll leave its color as black, but 1/2 V, I'll make that one a light blue. There we are. So 1/2 V in light blue and V is dashed. Now vector U, I'm going to go ahead and quickly dash it real fast. There it is. And then I'm going to type in 2 and the letter little u to get 2 times U. And I'll go ahead and make this one purple like we had in our notes. And there we are. Let me zoom in a bit so you can see this a bit better. There is, ooh, there we are. Actually, if I switch to this tool, I can move. And notice I have, this little crosshatch. If I place it on the x-axis, it just becomes in 2 directions. But I don't want that. I want to move the x-axis. There we are. And then I want to move the y-axis a bit so this is a bit more centered. And now we'll go back to rotate the 3D graphics view. So see, here is twice U in purple, and here's the vector U, which I should make thicker since it's actually pretty difficult to see this vector. Ooh, this is a good example. Notice I have this tool selected. I selected the vector U and its options don't come up. You need to have the move tool selected and then the vector options, or excuse me, the options of the selected object will come up. There it is. Vector U is easier to see now. Okay, so we're missing one more vector. That is, we are missing 2u minus 1/2 v. Notice that 2u it named A minus 1/2 v, which it named W. So I'll place that there. And 1, 2, 0. That looks a little confusing. You could just type in 2u minus 1/2 v and get the same thing. So I'll go ahead and hide one of these, and let's make this orange as we had in our notes. And I can rotate my view and see that here it is. Okay, just remember, you got this. Please keep calm and math on.